The intended use of this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the host and guests independently, and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of UpDog Challenge Incorporated, its sponsors, or any other partnered organizations. UpDog Challenge Incorporated does not guarantee the accuracy or reliability of any opinions expressed. In no way should the information provided during the Sweet Spot, an UpDog podcast be considered veterinary, medical, legal, or professional advice. At all times, the advice of your personal professional should supersede any information provided, derived, or inferred from listening to this podcast.
Ready, set, go.
Welcome to the Sweet Spot, an UpDog podcast. I'm Andrea Morissette.
And I am Jack Bailey. We are your hosts today, and we have two amazing guests today. I think this is the second time only. We had Ken and Ashley on together early in the podcast. I think this is our second time we've had more than one guest. So
Well, it depends on if we count Kat as a guest or not.
Well,
because we've had Kat and other guests.
Have we?
Yeah. But regardless, these are two.
This is an excellent start to the podcast.
We're leaving this. No, I think that's great to have two of our people on at the same time, two of our players, and interestingly, they're two of our young dominating players that are coming to kick all of our butts. So we have two of them in the same spot. We have Macee and Finn. Give it up for Macee and Finn. Whoop, whoop. Why do we have Macee and Finn here, Jack?
Well, let's see. A couple weeks ago, we had the first ever UpDog Invitational down in St. Petersburg, Florida.
What's that?
We were partnered with the AKC and ESPN. It's actually going to be on ESPN very soon. It's Sunday the 14th at 1, and then Christmas Day at 4. Make sure you tell your friends. Make sure you watch for Macee and Finn and lots of other talented UpDoggers. And Macee and Finn have both been on the podcast before, but let's see if they can give us each of them give us a quick 60-second, who are you, what dogs do you throw to, where's your club if you've got one. Let's start with our youngest. Let's start with Finn. Finn, who are you, where are you from? Tell us about your dogs real quick. 60 seconds, go.
Yeah, my name is Finn Proctor. I'm from Central Virginia, where we have our disc league. I played with two of my own dogs and one borrowed dog who's semi my dog now. I love him as one of my own. Figment, who's my deaf border collie, who I won with. Amadeus, who is a whippet, who I got third place with. And then I played freestyle with WTF, who is a vision impaired, one of my border collies.
Excellent.
Which one is the borrowed one?
The whippet, Amadeus.
Cool.
Yeah, he belongs to a friend of mine.
All right, Macee, 60 seconds, go. We know you don't have a home base. You're just a rambling,
living in a van,
traveling gal.
Just the van.
My name's Macee Aumack. I technically live in Michigan. Thank you, Jack. I threw to three different dogs at this event. Again, two of my own, one borrowed dog. I played with Riddle, who got third place in freestyle, Hotshot, who got first place in freestyle and first place in far out, and then Jersey, my friend's dog, who got second place in far out.
Nice. All right. So the UpDog Invitational, Dre, that was new for us. And how did people get invited generally? What did they have to do to get invited?
It was an exciting process for us because we got to figure what we were really looking for when we had the conversation is what do we want on this show was our absolute best freestyle teams. So how can we find our best freestyle teams? And knowing that judging all over the country can be variable depending on the experience of the judges, we thought our best source for finding our top scoring players was to look at our largest events where they're usually founder judged or judged by some of our leading training judges. So we chose UpDiff and Freestyle Crown as our main sources of how to find top players. And then also we had wildcard selections from players that we'd been inspired by throughout the year, that as long as they played UpDog, that we would, like, some people are excellent freestyle players and they just can't ever make it to UpDiff, or their dog is not going to thrive in an UpDiff environment. And maybe they're more of an online player or a backyard champion type of dog, or they can't travel that much. So we also wanted to include those types of players. And so it was kind of a conglomeration of UpDiff points, freestyle crown points, and wild cards. Did I miss anything?
Oh, well, you missed Far Out.
Oh, well, I'm talking about the freestyle
Yeah.
part. You're talking about-
I mean, not
Well, I mean, it's the same
surprising. Not
thing.
surprising,
Everybody
Dre.
watching.
Well, I mean, it's
Dre
similar to
hates
the same
Far
thing
Out.
as an UpDiff. For Far Out, we chose from UpDiff, but we know who our big throwers are. So that was easier for us to just know who our big throwers are. It's a much smaller pool of players. So for Far Out, we just were able to have a 5-minute conversation, come up with a big list of people that we were most interested in inviting. And for freestyle, it was a little bit more data driven than that, to be fair to teams all over the world that want to play.
And I know that obviously this is going to be aired on ESPN, and we have to think about the games that somebody could just be like, doing laundry, look up at their TV and see dogs on TV and be immediately engaged, without understanding the game. Freestyle and Far Out, I think both are games where you could literally be at a restaurant, at the airport, waiting for your flight, look up and see what's going on TV, and you don't have to know the rules. Like, you don't have to know the rules of freestyle to enjoy watching it. You don't have to know the rules of Far Out to enjoy watching this dog go, 70 yards down a field that looks like a football field with easily engaged people. So these two games were kind of selected. Of course, we always wanted to do the freestyle invitational, and Far Out was selected as like a natural one to connect with it, and connect with that TV. So
Yeah. It was
All right,
really
let's-
designed to be the freestyle invitational. So that was, I mean, for me, it's still like, I know the Far Out part is a very important part of it, but that was the intention of the event, was to replace that we're not doing 2 rounds at UpDiff. And that's super important to both of us, to have an event that is really heavily spotlighted, that has both rounds of our freestyle games in it. So for me, it's primarily focused on freestyle because that's the only combined freestyle championship that we have. We have another championship at UpDiff for Far Out. So that's my thinking about it. I love Far Out. I love freestyle more.
Sometimes.
obviously.
All right,
let's get talking with
yeah.
Macee and Finn here. So
leading up to the event, so leading up to it, were you guys nervous? Like, you knew you're going to be on ESPN. I know Macee's been on some halftime stuff before. I'm not sure if you've had that opportunity before yet, Finn. So how are you feeling about being on TV, being on ESPN? Is there anything like you had to do in special preparation, or did you feel like a different type of nerves being in there? Were you able to keep your stuff together? Like, what was that experience like for you, Finn?
It's definitely a lot of kind of pressure leading up, because it's not just you want to perform well, it's you want to look good while performing well, right? Because the whole point is to look good on TV. It isn't always just about the scores, but if I look good, that I'll be happy if I look good. So definitely leading up, it was a lot of trying to practice with some sort of pressure put on me, to simulate what it's going to be like down in Florida. And down there, it was definitely a different kind of feel from even just playing at UpDiff or a random event. To have the cameras there, to have everyone kind of spotlighted, it was definitely a lot different than any other events I've been to.
Yeah. Interesting, right? When it's not about the audience that you're playing to and you're playing to a camera.
Yes.
Really different. It could be
Yep.
versus like having a big crowd there and everybody's cheering. But people did come over and cheer for freestyle a bit on the sidelines, which is nice, but it's a very different. Yeah.
There were actually a lot of people on the stands for Far Out and behind, because everyone was kind of watching and cheering us on. That was pretty fun too.
Macee, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't any like special preparation. I mean, I had an interesting situation. Can I share the whole Dizzy thing and how I got hotshot invited?
Yes, yeah.
So I was always planning on playing this event with my main dog, Dizzy, but she came up with an injury, and it's kind of been a long, ongoing pain in the butt injury. But I was thinking, with rehab and crate rush, she'd be ready to go about a week and a half before the event, I had messaged Kat and just said, listen, she's not ready. Like, I'm not going to push my dog to I don't want to re-injure her, and B, I don't want her to have any issues while on the field. It's not worth it. She's so young. It's not worth re-injuring my dog for. So I asked Kat if I could make a swap and put Hot Shot in instead for freestyle. And she ended up letting me. And this was only Hot Shot's third competition ever. So I was a little worried. I was a little like, oh God, like, here we go. Live TV, or not live, but TV with my young dog who has had a very successful 3 competitions, but she was still very new and kind of unpredictable for me. So I wasn't too sure what she was going to do. Riddle, I don't ever worry. I go out, I know what she's gonna do. She always has got it. Like, I'm never concerned about her. The weaker link in that pairing is me. Hot Shot, I had a lot of preparation, a lot of practice, over arousal work, making sure she was getting to the field calmly, getting on the field calmly, doing the routine calmly. Like, it was just micromanaging a new dog. And obviously she crushed it, but it was a lot of nerves going into that, not knowing. Like, Dizzy is such a predictable dog. Hotshot is not a predictable dog. So I was very all over the place, kind of worrying about how this would all go. But she did great.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, I could see that. And you weren't the only one. There were a couple people who had to make a last minute dog switch, and we understand that, dogs get injured sometimes, and we want to make sure, just like you said, we don't push a dog, keep them safe, regardless of whether or not it's their big TV opportunity or not. It's not worth it. So, yeah, I totally understand that thought process going into it, and having a dog that you don't have to worry about, and having a dog that you might have to manage a little bit differently. So, as part of the invitational too, like, there were some different things, right? You had to wear a shirt over the top of your vault vest for freestyle. You had to play with the discs that we gave you. All of those, like, little things sometimes, factor into just, it's not exactly 100% the way it always is. Did any of that stuff bother you guys, or how did all that go with the different discs and the uniform that you had to wear and things like that?
I mean, the shirt, I like the shirt. It was a nice, I like that better than the cotton ones that you get sometimes.
Okay.
The discs, I mean, they're the hero discs. I'm used to them. They were a little bit different than the normal Sonics. They had a little bit of a different feel, which it just took some adjustments in the morning practice to kind of get used to. But it's like that with any new disc that you play with.
Yeah, I always feel like when you get a brand new disc, they don't exactly fly like ones that you've played with for a couple
Played
weeks.
with, yeah.
I'm used to World Finals having to wear our shirts over our vests, so that didn't bug me. I mean, I knew what I was going into there. I knew, like, my dogs have played like that so many times, and I'm used to playing like that because of World Finals. So that didn't bug me, and I ordered the same discs that I usually play with. So
Cool.
it was good. It was good.
Good.
Excited about this next question.
Go ahead, Dre. You can ask it.
I'm going to ask Macee first because this was a whole thing. How was the process of selecting royalty-free music on Saturday, Macee?
No.
No.
I
got
couldn't.
so many phone calls about music. Oh my God.
Oh man. It took me It took me 2 weeks to find a song that I was mildly okay with. And I did all the things. Jack, I kid you not, I was looking at this music every day. It was eating me alive.
She's having panic attacks about it.
It was terrible. I hated it. Thank God I played with Hotshot instead of Dizzy, because I found a song for Hotshot that I actually really liked. Her song, great. Riddle song, shit. That's how we felt.
Perfect timing.
Comedic timing. That's perfect.
All right, Finn. How was your experience of we know that Macee did not like it. What was your experience of picking royalty-free music?
I mean, it took me a couple days. It pretty much, the way you search, once I found one that I kind of liked and just used those kind of key terms, then I could put together a list. But I don't like for Criterion, because that's when we needed it. I don't really play to my music as much. I don't I like having music that I like and can listen to and can jam to, but I don't play to it specifically, so I'm not used to doing that. So any song that I liked would have been fine. I just found one with a nice beat, pretty much.
I envy you, Finn.
I'm like, that is not the amazing experience.
The joys of being an average freestyle team. I don't need specific music.
I mean, I did not go through the process that you guys did to try and select one because I wasn't involved in playing. But I will say, listening to the royalty-free music, I felt like there was a lot of good ones. I was like, this is kind of catchy. And like, there were people who I knew what their normal song was, and then I heard the royalty-free song, and I'm like, it was similar.
It was close.
So, you know, it definitely is a different challenge, though, I think, you know, and as somebody who's gone out to the field and given my thumbs up for my music to start and then not have the right music play, or I've been out there at a World Finals before and my music was playing for 30 seconds and it was my track, and all of a sudden they hit a button and it switched to somebody else's music, and I'm like, what do I even do? What's happening? So I do know that music can impact like your thought process out there on the field. So that was just another thing, right? You've got all these layers of things that are a little bit different at this invitational, all because of TV.
Yeah.
The round was limited to 90 seconds. Viewers might see that on the TV, depending on what they do. I don't know how much editing of the rounds that they'll do. But the performance or the Criterion round on Saturday was only 90 seconds, which normally it's, 2 minutes, 15 seconds. So that was different music, wearing specific shirts over the top of your vault, playing with brand new discs. That's a lot of differences. And you guys still came out, crushed it in freestyle, crushed it in far out. So let's get into like the actual events here a little bit. Dre, you want to?
Yeah, when you got there, we got there early. We got up at like 5:00 in the morning, 4 or 5. What time do we even get up, Jack? I think we got up like 4:30 to get there because we had to drive an hour and 15 minutes into the city, and we had to avoid rush hour because Friday was still a rush hour day. So we got up so early, and we got there as the sun was rising over top of the field.
Was it already 80 degrees?
Gorgeous. No. It was a little chilly.
It was 82.
Yeah, and the sun rose right over the stadium, over the harbor, over the palm trees. It was beautiful. There was like dew on the field. The camera, everybody was bustling around. It was a very exciting feeling inside my heart. Like I got butterflies and excitement. So what was the experience for you guys? So Finn, this might have been your first. Is this your first television opportunity? Have you done?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, this is your first television opportunity. So what was that like walking out to the field and seeing all this stuff?
It was really cool because I've also never played on a field like that. Kind of like in a stadium. The grass was like super nice. It was very pristine, kind of a pristine environment. So it was very much unlike any other event I've been to, any other competition. So it kind of separated itself. You could see the differences. So walking out onto the field kind of just felt more special than just some other event at a regular field. Cool. with no cameras.
That makes sense.
What about you,
that field was pretty amazing, which is why we had all the rules.
Yes.
Yeah.
No chairs on the grass.
No chairs on the grass, no dogs on the grass unless they're competing, like no food, no drink. They were very particular about their grass, but I understand why. It was
nice
great.
Grass.
It was super nice grass.
Yeah.
What about you, Mace? What was your impression walking in on Friday? Because you've played PIDC, you've played other, you've done halftime shows with Jumbotrons and all that stuff. So what was the experience walking out for an UpDog event?
No big deal.
It's always like exciting when you get the chance to do, TV, or you have the opportunity to get a spot on TV. And so that feeling was always exciting, but I don't think that added, for me, it didn't add like an extra level of nerves at all. I just felt like a competition that I was there to compete at. And I was excited. I wasn't not excited, but it didn't add to my nerves.
Now you're the lucky one.
I know. That's what I was thinking too,
Your
Finn.
experience
I've been
with
playing
this.
for over 20 years. I still get nerves when I go out onto a local.
I mean, I get nervous, but
She's
like,
saturated now. She's done this like her life. I didn't get nervous when I was doing full-time shows either, because you're so confident in your routine and your dogs. I mean, there's like she said, there's environments, right, where you go in and your dog hasn't experienced that yet. But I mean, there's a different level of knowing of your dog, I think, when you're doing that stuff full time.
yeah.
All right, Jack, you're up.
Yeah, let's jump to Saturday then. So Saturday's far out day. First 20 or so freestyle teams went before far out.
Yep.
And so then far out happened. So let's talk a little bit about far out as our first conversation about the two different games here. So what did you guys think about the wind and everything on the wind and the sun on Saturday as you took your practice throws? Any thoughts? Any last minute like changes in your head or anything like that because of the practice throws that you had?
There was a headwind
And sun.
and sun. I mean, I don't have dogs that have issues with sun and far out, so I wasn't too worried about that. But I know there's a lot of people there that had dogs with blue eyes that did struggle.
Yeah, that was very true. I noticed a couple of them try the rec specs, the glasses or whatever, and that didn't even seem to help either. That sun
No.
was super bright coming from that other side.
Yeah, middle of the day, right above, like right in the middle. You just couldn't escape it, really.
Yeah, I
And
think the people that took that left route down the field was really the only refuge they had, because it gave them a little bit of a crosswind to get that extra push
Yep.
away from the headwind, and pushed it a little off to that side. I think for those, I'm thinking, yeah. I
It
mean,
was to the left side, yeah.
whatever the angle is for primary
Hyzer,
work
a
on the
hyzer
dog,
throw. It was
yeah,
like a
whatever
pushing hyzer throw out to the left.
it off to the left gave the dogs an ability to see it based on the right hand hyzer that they couldn't see if they threw down the middle, or forget it. If they threw anywhere to the right, the dogs didn't see anything at all.
No.
But they did. There were some teams that capitalized on the crosswind, I think.
yeah.
Left.
And for those listening too, like you might be thinking to themselves, well, gosh, why didn't they throw the other way? It's not as simple as that when you've got a TV crew out there. Everything is set up days in advance. And they have their camera locations. They've got their communication and logistics all set up. So for us to look the day of and go, oh, well, the wind is actually shifted and now it's coming out of this direction, let's just flop the field.
Yeah.
You can't do it. The paint's down, the cameras are down, the logistics are set. So we were stuck with what we had on Saturday. But Macee, that didn't seem to stop you. To be completely honest, you kind of ran away with the competition, the far out competition on Saturday. Talk to us a little bit about that. Like, what was there any chatter amongst the ladies group there about
There's
how
always
things are going
chatter
down?
amongst the ladies group. There's
Nobody
always
tripped you on the way out, so I guess they're not mad.
no. I mean, there's always far out. I told the camera people this. Far out's the most entertaining thing you're gonna see, because all we do is yap at each other the entire time. Like doopy 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 doop, like the whole time. We're just giving each other shit the entire time. So
And you guys were mic'd up, right?
Yeah, she's like, they're not going to be able to use anything.
No, I don't know how much her audio they can actually use.
We're going to have 2-word clips from Macee for that.
It's gonna be like a word and then a word and then a bleep and then a bleep. I told them, I was like, I don't really know if you guys want to mic me up. Like, I cuss a lot, and they're like, oh no, we'll edit it out. It's fine. Okay, you said so.
They did not know what they were getting into.
No, but I mean, everybody threw really well. Like, the far out women threw. It wasn't it wasn't due to lack of people throwing well or a lack of dogs catching. Really, everybody threw great.
You just seem to find that extra yardage though. Like you were able to get it out there. You had a couple into the 70s, right?
I had a Yeah, I had a few
79.
in my big one was 79, but I had a few in the 70s, and then the rest were upper 60s.
Yeah.
And there weren't any other women. I think there was one 62. Was it a Kira for 62?
Barb threw a 60-yarder. I just don't know what it was. She had a one or two in the 60s.
So I just don't
Yeah.
think anybody else was really even hitting 60 on the lady side other than you.
Yeah,
And nobody hit 70.
halfway
Not
through
catches, for
it,
sure.
it started to seem like it was going to be a battle for third, and definitely Barb came in clutch on that sweet shot at the end with Salty to secure third place. So that was pretty cool to watch that kind of battle for third. But Macee, you did a great job pushing those discs out there way further than I ever could, and a good 10 yards further than I think anybody else got him out there. So that was amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, it's fun. I love that game. I love far out the most. I like freestyle. I mean, I love freestyle, but far out's my favorite. So
You're crushing
Fire.
Dre's heart right now.
It's
I,
crazy.
I always do. Every time we have this conversation, I do.
Right.
And the answer has not changed yet, Dre.
We'll
I'm
change
so
it one day.
sorry.
You just wait.
We'll see.
All right,
She
so
needs older joints first, Jack. Once her joints get older, she'll like freestyle more.
I don't know. Freestyle can be a lot too.
Yeah, Dre's version of freestyle.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, nowadays I do a dog catch and I wrench my neck and I'm, sore for like 2 days. But also I have Remix who runs at me like 60 miles an hour and just flies through the air.
Yep.
All right. Let's jump over to Finn in the
Finn.
men's far out competition. So this one, man, I was out in the field for both of these, obviously, and I'm jotting down scores, and in my head, it's fun. I'm watching it firsthand right there on the field, and there were a lot of ups and downs with the men's far out finals. The first big thing that I think, in my opinion, might have sent like some thoughts through everybody's head was that monster throw by James.
Dude. Out of nowhere, 92 yards.
Gigantor.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I didn't think anybody was going to get out to the 90s with the way the wind was just kind of like keeping things like just, it seemed like the disc would go up and then they would just pause. And they would just kind of not go any further. But somehow James found the right, like, I don't know, right jet stream or whatever it was,
it was
that caught it and
monster.
took it another 10 yards or so. What were your thoughts, Finn, when you saw that catch?
So, talking about going back to the wind, the biggest thing was that it was going over those bleachers on the right. And so the wind up high was a lot different than the wind down low. So the reason that you're seeing them all stall is if they get nose up out to like that 60-yard mark and they're up too high, the wind's going to push them backwards. It's the headwind coming back. You had to get in, it had to be a really low, drivey throw. And another thing was that it was kind of swirling inside the stands behind us. So I think he got a lucky tailwind, and then he told me he rushed to try to get it, which is what you have to do. I mean, if you get a good wind, you can't wait it out and lose it. So he definitely got a hold of the best wind there for probably the entire day. It was good to see. That was a really good throw.
That's a cool like thought process, and that goes through people's head too that I never thought of, honestly, because I just step up and I'm like, well, this is gonna not go far. But like that's something I guess that you have to think about, right? Is like I need to hurry up and throw this, or maybe I need to like take my time because the wind's not great at the moment. So literally,
Stop and tie your shoe.
Tie your shoe.
Yeah, can it be the difference literally between like 15 seconds and 15 seconds later?
Oh, yeah.
Way less than that.
Okay, wow, that's
especially with how it was swirling, coming off the ocean and coming from the front. It was kind of up to the right, so it's coming a headwind kind of from the right to the left, which is even worse than a headwind in my opinion, because if it flips over, it's not just going to tail. That wind's going to push the right side out from under it and just pull it towards the stands. Pretty much, it had to be on a hyzer. It had to push towards the left, which was also how the dogs were being able to see them. So like all my throws, I was trying to keep them on the left side and lower, kind of drivier, which is hard when you have a slower dog. Like the whippet I was playing for, he didn't have a problem catching up to it. But I think I out threw Fig on one of them. I think he was behind it because he is a slower border collie. So it was a fine line between high enough that the dog can catch it, but not too high that the wind would catch it and push it backwards. Because once it pushes it up, it's gonna not go past 60. None of the high ones were going that far. It was only the lower drivey throws that were actually pushing through the wind instead of getting caught up in it. And then just trying to wait for the right swirl or for it to die down for 2 seconds. And it is a difference, like 5 seconds, between 5 seconds, it can be completely different at that field, at a field like that, with kind of the bowl effect is what you'll see.
Yeah, that it's really interesting, Jack. This reminds me of that Skyhounds we played here in Chattanooga AT&T Field back in 2011 or something. It was in a stadium and the wind was so swirly and the championship came down to toss and fetch. I remember I threw right after Chuck Middleton. I was like, I'm just going to do whatever he does because he's great at toss and fetch. And the wind swirled and my discs all went straight up and out. And it was just like the swirly wind made it so inconsistent to figure out. And I didn't notice that at all over that weekend because I wasn't throwing, right? Other than us going out and doing freestyle on the field, we weren't doing distance. So I didn't even know that the wind was swirling, but that's an interesting element to this event that they don't get at UpDiff. UpDiff is a much larger space. We don't have room for stadiums, right? It has to be in a giant open field. So like stadium adds a whole nother pressure factor of the bleachers in there. But also changing the wind because of the bleachers and the swirling effect of the wind is really interesting.
And the field just feels smaller because it's a lot more narrow. So you're even more kind of focused on one narrow stretch, and that can be the mental aspect of that is another thing you have to think about.
Yeah, you guys had like a corridor of about 50 yards where they still had sponsor banners up all the way out to about 50 yards, I think. So
50,
yeah,
60,
you definitely had to stay down that field at least for that first 50 or 60 yards before your discs sort of started going the other way. Because at least your dog wasn't going to be able to run a straight line, if you wanted to try to do an angle throw.
Yeah, because the disc is going to fade off to the left if you're just really be chasing it off. Favorable lefty wind. Just giving a call out to the lefties out there. If there were any big bomb lefty throwers, or if I was allowed to play events like that, would have been a very favorable lefty wind. But again, when we were talking about the field layout and all of that, we can't necessarily align one way or the other. We have to consider more factors than just the wind direction or the sun. So, but it was a favorable lefty wind, which is interesting. I'm not sure if we had any lefty throwers, did we?
No.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. So, Finn, talk us through the third place last catch there, because I thought that was amazing. And talk us through that third place. So you had kind of locked in first, right?
Yeah, I was in first by 20 points, and I was also the last up with the third place dog. So everyone had already gone, and I knew what I needed pretty much. It was really close because I think with the points that I had against James is because I only had one catch and James had two catches, and I think I needed 79.5 points, and I threw it a little bit lower than I wanted because the wind was gusting really hard and I wanted to try to get it to push through instead of stalling way up high. It was a little bit lower, but if anything, the headwind kind of helped me a little bit. It lifted it almost like a little bit right at the end. And Amadeus, he's a whippet. He knew he needed to catch it. He put on the jets for that one. He was going to get to it. And it was, I think, 80 or 80.5 yards because I think I beat James by 0.5 to take third place. It was really close.
Yeah, I went over there because I knew how much you needed because I saw it on the score sheet, and then it was right at that 80 mark, and Landon was my side judge over there, and he was very close to where the catch was made. So I just walked over calmly to him, and I'm like, because he called out 80, and I just walked. He didn't know you needed 80.
Yeah.
And I just said, "Are you sure that it was 80? It wasn't 79.5. It wasn't 79." I said, "Are you sure it was 80?" And he's like, "Yeah, it was that." He goes, "If it was anything, it was 80 and a half versus 80." He goes, "But it was 80." And then Kat had actually happened to, she was taking photos out there. And so she went back and looked at her photo of the catch, and it was just across the 80.
Nice.
So, like, the paws were just across that 80 mark. So we made sure, because that was like a super close.
I remember you walking out on the field, and I'm just standing there, like, waiting.
Yeah. That was really cool. It's neat to see when the sweet shot becomes the catch that, makes a difference for the player.
It's exciting.
So yeah, that was really cool to see. So some excellent throws by both of you guys in Far Out, and I'm excited to see how the TV crew kind of pieces everything together and makes a story out of it. I'm sure they'll do something to make some drama happen there on the field.
With Macee's
there
or something.
There was a lot of drama anyways.
Right, there's a lot backstage. All right. Enough about Far Out. Let's get back to freestyle. So for freestyle, Macee, going into that last round, you had a pretty good pad. Pretty good lead.
Oh, well.
No, it was, your lead was only by 0.25, right?
Pretty good lead from the rest of the pack.
But yeah.
Did you have any teams in particular that the top three were separated pretty significantly from the rest of the pack?
7 points, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a little bit.
Round.
I love it. Finn's like a stat guy. He's like, "Oh no, it was 7. I needed a half yard." He knows it all like that. That's awesome. That's me, Finn, too.
So, you knew you'd be solidly in the top 3 with 2 of your dogs, regardless, unless you didn't play or an injury happened in the middle of the round that made you stop, so you didn't actually finish your round. You were going to be top 3 with 2 of your dogs. So going in that way, how did you feel in that scenario? Did you feel like you really had to go lay it down to make sure you got that win? You were pretty close to the second place team, Bonnie, who's known to throw down for performance for second team. So how did you feel about that final round?
Don't fuck this up. 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 That is what went through my brain.
That's a lot of editing I'm now going to have to do.
Yes.
It's just going to be, don't bleep, 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 bleep.
Don't oopsie. That's how I felt, though. I mean, I've been friends with Bonnie for years. I know how capable Bonnie is of going out there with a plan and absolutely executing that plan. And so I'm like, oh God, like, you know what? I went with Riddle before Bonnie. So it was me and Riddle in third place, Bonnie and Kiddo in second, Hotshot and I in first. So I didn't have to watch Bonnie before I played with Riddle, which felt nice for me. I was that made me a little happier because Bonnie's intimidating. I mean, she's a very intimidating player to go out and watch her. If she hits it, she hits it. Like, there's no denying her if she really rocks that field. And so I went out with Riddle and we just had our usual fun time. It was 90 seconds, which means I got to cut out all of her passing, which is my favorite format to play with the dog because she sucks at catching out throws. Yeah. So I was actually very relieved that it was 90 seconds on Saturday. Made me feel a lot better playing with Riddle. And I think she crushed it. She's a pretty, like I said earlier, she's a pretty solid dog. So she goes out there, does her thing 99.999% of the time. And then Bonnie went up after I did, and I had to go switch dogs. So I wasn't even able to watch Bonnie's round. I just kind of had to go off. Yeah, I had to go off like crowd reaction and what I was hearing. And I was like, we'll see how this goes.
Because it's your young dog and experienced dog also. She had played on the field the day before, but again, a young and experienced dog, and you're cutting off 45 seconds of that routine, and she doesn't know that.
Yeah, she had no clue about that. So that was an interesting.
Did she even care, or is she young enough that she's still following you the whole time anyway? She's not assuming.
Well, Hotshot's biggest problem is that she gets gassed very quickly, and Florida is the swamp ass state, so it was hot as heck Sorry, Jack, you have to edit that one out.
They have a whole group, Jack. There's no point in doing that. There's a whole hashtag.
There's a whole group. Swamp Ass Invitational. Anyways.
There you go.
Let me write these people's names down.
There's pictures of them. Don't worry. Just look at the pictures, Jack.
Oh, so Hot Chested Dog that gasses out really, really quickly. So I was actually kind of happy to only do 90 seconds with her because also in her round, I cut out her passing. Takes about 30 seconds. So cut that right out. And she had less running to do. And I, in my head, thought that would go better because if she was in the heat with the 2-minute round, there's more of a probability that she's going to gas at the end like that. She comes on the field with such an over arousal and high energy that she burns really quickly. So I was feeling a little bit better actually on Saturday playing with her for 90 seconds. I kind of thought that she would have that same beast mode energy the entire round, and she did.
We saw that with a few teams, Jack, which is actually interesting. There were some teams from the north area that came out. The dogs real wound up from just being super stoked to play. And on Friday, they gassed out with about 30 seconds to go. The last 30 seconds was pretty slow. And the dogs that I remember doing that on on Friday played great on Saturday with that 90-second format in the heat. Didn't gas out, were strong all the way through the routine. So that's interesting. The 90-second thing wasn't something that we wanted or planned. It was one of the concessions that we made for television. And it added an interesting element to the routine that actually helped our teams from the north area jump into southern heat and humidity. It's something that we're really used to because we just live down here. It's a real hard adjustment.
On Saturday, we made the comment multiple times, like, we should have made an announcement to remind people, like, hey, you only need to do 90 seconds to get a full score, and there's no penalty. Like, dog catch your dog or do whatever is your final move and get off the field if you see your dog fading. And unfortunately, like Dre said, there were just a couple that got a little too hot. And I think maybe the folks thought they had to finish out the round when they
100% certainly they
really didn't need to.
Yeah. So super interesting, right? Just another element of this particular game or format in being the invitational that created additional challenges. So I love that about freestyle. I love that, like, you take all the same thing and you put it in a different spot and it has a whole new Pandora's box of issues you have to solve and then put it somewhere else. So
I like far out.
Less problem.
I just need to show up and throw far.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. So guys, overall, like, what were your feelings, thoughts about the invitational? If we did it again, what would you guys tell us to do differently?
I had a great time. I thought it was super fun. UpDog events for me, it took me a while to get into kind of the full swing of UpDog. How do I word this? It took me a while to, no, it's not anything bad. It took me a while to fully appreciate the joy that everybody has at UpDog. Like, everybody's so happy all the time. And I'm like, at first that stressed me out. Like, why are you all happy? We're here to, like, win. Like, why? Like, we're here to play with our dogs. Yes, I'm sorry. But anybody that stepped on the field that said that they didn't want to win as well is lying to you. But like, I love how much fun everybody has at those events. Everybody's personable, everybody's cheering for each other. The community feeling is unlike any other organization, and I will stand by that. Everybody is so kind all of the time. And so I think that for me made all of the challenges of the weekend so much easier. Like, everybody's cheering for you, everybody's friendly, there's always somebody to talk to, even if you never met them before. And so that was a really fun part for me, was leaving that event with so many new friends, but also just feeling very uplifted by the community. And you don't feel like that at a lot of different events sometimes. It's very cutthroat at a finals. It is. It's very cutthroat at finals.
Yeah, you're used to all those, like, all the going to finals, not just regular events.
Right. And so it was very refreshing for me. I had a very good time in that aspect. And then obviously the conditions of the field were great. The TV crew was great. The judging was great. I mean, I won, so I can't complain. But
you can't say anything about the judging.
Yeah, you got 45 other people that say otherwise, but
no, I thought it was a greatly run event. The only thing I would change is that we could crate out of our fans next year. But that's just as somebody who can't leave dogs at home and has a whole show team of dogs with them at all times. That was the biggest challenge for me mentally, was worrying
You took up a
about...
whole room down there, right?
Oh yeah.
You had like a whole room of crates.
I had a whole room of dog crates. Yeah. It was wild.
The community really pulled together too to make that happen, because people locally brought kennels for her to use and set up and stuff like that. So another shout out to the UpDog community. Thank you for saying that, Macee, because we created UpDog for that reason. Because we came home every weekend from events just complaining about the vibe or the judging or whatever, right? And that's my favorite thing about UpDog, is that it's fun and people are nice.
It is.
We're going to play dog sports, man. Why aren't people happy and friendly? So now we have a happy, friendly community. So it's really great to get.
All right. So the logistics thing, definitely, Macee, I hear you. And I know, like, even before any competitors got there, that was something that Kat was struggling with, because, like when UpDog puts on an event, yes, it's about TV at this event, but it's also our UpDog competitors' experience. And so we really tried to balance that as best as we could. And there were just some things, obviously, that we couldn't make happen, like, crating out of your cars and things like that.
Right.
But anyway, Finn, what are your overall thoughts? What you got any changes for us?
I mean, a lot of the same thing Macee said. Like, the community was really nice. It was really cool to see kind of everyone people you don't know, people who, like for me, people who don't play distance, all the freestyle teams saying that seeing me play far out like made their trip or made their day. And that was really cool, because I haven't been playing like even just distance that long, disc in general, like half as long as most of these people. So to know that I'm that highly kind of regarded in even just freestyle people is really cool to see at that type of event, because like it's the top freestyle teams in the country, top far out teams in the country, and to see that I'm one of them, even though I have much less experience than a lot of these people, was really nice. I liked that. And logistics, I mean, the only parking was probably the biggest thing. Everything else was nice. It would have been nice to like be able to tent closer to the field, because you couldn't really, like, you couldn't watch from your tent. You kind of had to be standing near the field to watch, and then it was just hot. So like I was doing 4 runs that day.
You couldn't bring a drink with you.
Yeah. Yes, no, you couldn't do that.
But I took a nap on the sideline.
Many naps on the sidelines. You were just under those banners half the day. Just laying down.
Like, I just woke up and her face is like bright red. She fell asleep in the sun.
They didn't give me a 10.
It didn't look pleasant.
Well, you guys, as Finn kind of alluded to in his comments, but I want you guys to know that you guys are both inspirational players in both of your events, freestyle and far out. Both of you guys, you're inspirational to the players that were there that day. But I mean, I just think it's going to be awesome, because part of the good thing about the television aspect is you guys are going to be inspirational to people that may have never thought about going out and throwing a disc to their dog, and they go out and they try it in their backyard, and maybe they connect with a community in their local area, and we grow the sport. And that's what the opportunity for TV is always about for us. So hopefully you get some people reaching out after they watch the show and letting you know how much they enjoyed it, things like that. That always seems to happen. You get the long lost aunt who you haven't heard from in a while go, I saw
high school
on TV.
Saw you on the show.
Yeah.
But if they found some from high school, they probably just saw them like, a couple months ago.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Different for these guys.
You.
All right. Now, we can't close this thing out without a time warp challenge. And this time, it's going to be a little bit different, because we're going to have you guys go head to head.
Oh, my gosh.
Right? So we're going to see who can answer the most questions. If you both answer 10, Dre's going to have a timer, obviously. So she'll know how many seconds you took to answer the 10. And one's going to go first, the other's going to go second, but it wouldn't be fair if you had the same questions, because you could already know your answers. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to flip a coin or a disc or something. I'll find something to flip.
I got it.
Okay.
Wait.
You got a disc? All right.
Nice.
We'll let Macee call heads or tails. So let's do that part first. Go ahead, Dre.
Heads.
Heads.
All right, so Macee, you get to decide. I have a different set of questions here for player 1, and I have a different set of questions for player 2. So you get to choose. Do you want to be player 1? Do you want player 1's questions or player 2's questions?
Oh God.
Are any of them like the list questions where you have to do like 5 answers instead of 1?
They both have a
Yeah.
list question,
Oh,
and
lovely.
but there's only 3
They're
things.
fair. They are fair.
There not be
They
another
are fair.
80s band one I can.
Yeah, I got
But that would take up my 10 minutes.
Don't worry, there's no 80s bands. Come on, pick
Okay,
a player,
I'll
Macee.
go one. I'll go
All right,
first.
Macee's gonna be player 1. Player 1's gonna go first, so she's gonna set the bar, Finn. All right,
I like
you
this.
ready, Macee?
This
You
is
ready,
more
Dre?
pressure than the Invitational.
I'm ready. All right, here we go. Ready, set, go.
Macee, name one thing you have in your disc bag besides discs.
Towel.
Would you rather live your life 12 inches tall or 12 feet tall?
12 feet.
Are you more afraid of a doctor or a dentist?
Dentist.
What's one item you couldn't live without?
Oh God. Crocs.
Name 3 fast food restaurants that don't serve burgers.
Chick-fil-A. Oh shit.
Yeah. I got it.
Qdoba. Chipotle.
Good job. If you could have
Yeah,
one
cute
supply of
over.
something, what would you want it to be? 23 seconds. Lifetime supply of something.
Frisbees.
What is your favorite UpDog game besides Freestyle or Far Out?
Greedy.
Would you rather read comic books or poetry?
Oh God. Poetry.
10 seconds.
What would your worst track and field event be?
Hurdles.
Would you
300.
rather it's spelling bee or math competition? 1 second.
Neither. Spelling bee.
Neither.
All right. So did that come in after or before, Dre?
Well, she said neither at the time stop, and then she said another answer. Am I stopping it at neither or the other answer?
We can give her neither.
1 second remaining.
All right.
Oh, I
Yeah,
would not
camera
want
that
either
one.
of those things.
So Finn, you gotta get 10.
Okay.
Food one stopped you.
With
Yeah.
I had to think.
Chipotle, Chipotle was a good one.
Chipotle. Because I can't
Burgers.
Once you think Mexican, then you've got a lot. You got Del Taco, Taco Bell, like all those.
Yeah.
KFC, Zaxby's.
Yeah, I
Come
wouldn't have taken any quicker to do that one. That was hard.
All right, are you ready, player 2? You got to beat 1 second. Ready,
Okay.
set, go.
Finn, would you rather be a wildlife photographer or a sports reporter?
Sports reporter.
If you had to eat a crayon, what color would you choose?
Red.
What is your favorite mode of transportation?
R.
Who is your favorite superhero?
Batman.
Name 3 scary movies.
Psycho. American Psycho, Psycho, and Shining.
Would you rather live
Shining.
underwater or in space? 30 seconds.
Underwater.
Which is better, ham or turkey?
Turkey.
What's
Vegetarian,
your favorite UpDog? What's your favorite UpDog game besides Freestyle or Far Out?
Boom.
Seconds.
What
Boom.
is the perfect cat name?
Lennox.
What is
That's
your
my
worst
16-year-old kid. My phobia, the dark, probably. Better
He
snakes.
crushed it.
Yeah.
Wasn't even close.
Oh, 6
He was
seconds.
like yawning,
easier.
taking his time answering his last questions. It was that 3 food
You
one.
picked,
Well, I had
you picked player 1.
I had to think of good horror movies, not
I was just gonna say one. I thought he was just gonna say Psycho 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, I went Psycho, and then I was like, okay, something else.
I got time. We're gonna
Think of good one. Yeah, I had to think of good ones. Can't just go random horror movies.
I would have failed at that one too. I don't know. I don't like horror movies, so
Neither do I.
I don't either, actually.
It
Scary
One,
movie
it
1, 2,
two.
and 3.
yeah, it's scary. Movie.
Yes. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, you could say a scary
One,
movie,
2, and
but
3. Yeah.
I like that better.
Well,
It was those fast food restaurants without burgers that stumped Macee.
Because you think of burgers and you think, okay, I can't think of
All I can
burgers,
think
and then
of
you
is
keep
burgers.
thinking of burgers, and you keep thinking of burgers. Yeah, that's a
What is that? There's a term for that, Jack. The word when you think about punch bugs, all you see is punch bugs. I'll have to Google it. I don't remember.
The heck's a punch bug.
Oh, I'll explain. It was a childhood thing.
In the olden days,
beetle.
Macee,
the olden
when
days.
people didn't have cell phones and you were on a road
On
trip,
a road trip.
you would look out the window, and every
You
time
look for
that
the
you would
beetles.
see a
See a
Volkswagen
beetle.
bug,
A slug bug.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what I know it
Punch
as.
bug. Slug bug.
Punch bug, slug bug. Yeah.
it's a punch buggy.
Slug bug.
Slug bug. Same.
Yeah.
Just same.
All
So
right.
you know it. We're not that far away in generational.
I did
Thank
grow
you.
up with an old dad.
True. Your dad's older than my dad, so I guess you're sort of in the same generation, just much younger.
Well, Finn, congratulations on your Time Warp championship here. Macee, good job. You got second place.
Not used to that feel. I'm just kidding.
Oh, wow.
Last
All
place,
right.
Macee.
Yeah, it's nice to give somebody else a win every once in a while. Especially our youth, you want to encourage the youth of the world.
I am the youth.
You
No, not anymore. You don't
They're
count as
booting you. They're booting you out of youth.
I
And
know.
he's technically getting booted out of youth too.
Yeah, Finn.
He
You
gets
have to-
Mm.
but now you get to be nice to him because he's get the 4 years of struggle bus to get up to being world dominating like you. That was a lot of work. So we will see you soon dominating all of the teams, Finn. Believe me, when people saw you on the freestyle field, they were like, great. Finn's playing freestyle
Lovely.
too. Great. Now we got to beat
Thanks.
Finn at freestyle too. They did. They were all like, oh, because they know you put in the hard work, and you've come a long way with him just in this past year. So
I
we're
agree,
excited
Finn.
to
I
see you
agree. And
guys on the freestyle field and at more UpDog events soon, playing freestyle and far out also, and all of our
And
other
far
UpDog
out.
games.
Yeah, mostly
So,
far. A little bit freestyle.
Love you guys. In the meantime, you should be nice to each other. Be kind to
And be nice to your dogs. We'll see you next time on The Sweet Spot.
Can
What's
do it.
happening?